What if you could face life's toughest challenges with unshakable calm, turn chaos into clarity, and build a mind so resilient it thrives under pressure? That's the promise of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that's more relevant today than ever. Welcome to Daily Stoic Habits, where we dive deep into practical wisdom to help you live stronger, smarter, and more centered. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button for Daily Stoic Habits. Ring the bell so you never miss a video packed with tools to transform your life. Picture this: you're stuck in traffic, late for a big meeting, and your phone's blowing up with notifications. Your heart's racing, your mind's spiraling. Most people would lose it. But what if instead you could pause, breathe, and choose calm over chaos? That's the kind of mental toughness Stoicism builds. It's not about ignoring life's problems. It's about mastering your response to them. In a world that feels like it's always throwing curveballs, stressful jobs, endless distractions, unexpected setbacks, having a rock-solid mindset isn't just nice to have. It's essential. Stoicism, born over 2,000 years ago from thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, isn't some dusty old theory. It's a battle-tested system for living well, no matter what life throws at you. At its core, it's about focusing on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, and letting go of what you can't, like other people's opinions or random bad luck. Sounds simple, right? But simple doesn't mean easy. It's a skill, one that takes practice but pays off in ways you'll feel every single day. Imagine walking into a high-stakes situation, a tough conversation, a tight deadline, and feeling steady, clear-headed, ready for anything. That's the Stoic edge. Why does this matter now? Because life doesn't slow down. Between juggling work, relationships, and the constant noise of the world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, like you're barely keeping your head above water. Stoicism gives you a lifeline, teaches you how to strip away the clutter, zero in on what truly matters, and build a kind of inner strength that no storm can shake. It's not about being cold or emotionless, far from it. It's about feeling deeply but acting wisely, about finding freedom in discipline. Ever wonder what it'd be like to face your fears and come out stronger? That's what Stoicism delivers. In this video, we're breaking down how to use Stoic principles to forge a mindset that doesn't just survive, but thrives. We'll explore the foundations of Stoicism, practical tools to tame your emotions, and daily habits to make resilience second nature. Whether you're dealing with a tough day or a life-changing challenge, these ideas will give you the clarity and courage to keep moving forward. This isn't about quick fixes or fluffy motivational quotes. It's about real, actionable steps to build a life of purpose and strength. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. What's one challenge you're facing right now that could use a dose of Stoic wisdom? Maybe it's stress, self-doubt, or just feeling pulled in a million directions. Whatever it is, Stoicism has answers, not vague theories, but tools you can use today. So, stick with us as we unpack how to train your mind to handle anything life throws your way. And if you're ready to make Stoicism a part of your daily life, don't forget to subscribe to Daily Stoic Habits and hit that notification bell. Let's get started on building the mental toughness you didn't know you had. Stoicism, a philosophy born in ancient Greece, offers a blueprint for mental resilience that feels as vital today as it did over 2 millennia ago. Its roots trace back to Zeno of Citium, who founded the school in Athens around 300 BCE. It's teaching in a public colonnade called the Stoa, hence the name Stoicism. But it was the Romans who truly shaped its legacy, with 3 towering figures: Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. Each brought unique perspectives, yet all shared a focus on practical wisdom for navigating life's chaos. Seneca, a wealthy statesman and playwright, wrote piercing letters on ethics, urging self-reflection despite his own complex life. Epictetus, born a slave, rose to become a teacher, emphasizing freedom through inner control, his teachings captured by his student. Arrian in the Discourses, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, penned his meditations as personal reflections. Wrestling with duty and mortality while ruling an empire, their lives ruler, slave, scholars, show Stoicism's universal appeal, a system not for ivory towers, but for real-world struggles at its heart. Stoicism rests on a few core principles that cut through life's noise with brutal clarity. The most famous is the dichotomy of control. Focus only on what you can influence your thoughts, actions, and choices, and release what you can't, like others' opinions, random events, or outcomes. This isn't passive resignation, but active empowerment. By narrowing your focus, you reclaim energy wasted on worry. Another key idea is accepting what cannot be changed, often tied to the Stoic concept of amor fati, or loving your fate.
Nice.
This doesn't mean liking every hardship, but embracing it as necessary, even useful. Stoics also stress virtue, wisdom, courage, justice. Temperance is the path to a good life, arguing that external things like wealth or fame are secondary. These ideas sound simple, but applying them demands relentless practice, like training a muscle. Why is grasping these foundations the first step to building mental toughness? Because Stoicism isn't a quick fix. It's a framework that rewires how you see the world. Without understanding its roots and principles, you're just cherry-picking quotes, not building a system. Knowing why Seneca obsessed over self-examination, or how Epictetus found freedom in a slave's life grounds the philosophy in human experience, shows you Stoicism isn't abstract, it's battle-tested. The principles, like focusing on what's in your control, give you a mental anchor. When life feels like a storm, they train you to step back, assess, and act with purpose, not panic. This clarity is the bedrock of resilience. It's letting you face challenges without being swept away by emotion or circumstance. Consider a real-world example. Imagine losing your job unexpectedly. The gut reaction is fear, anger, maybe despair emotions. That cloud judgment. A Stoic approach starts with the dichotomy of control. Can't undo the layoff or control the economy, but you can control your response. Instead of spiraling, you pause, breathe, and ask, what's in my power? You can update your resume, network, or learn a new skill. Accepting the loss is outside your control doesn't mean giving up. It means redirecting energy to what matters. Marcus Aurelius might remind you to see obstacles as opportunities. Maybe this pushes you toward a better path. Seneca would urge you to reflect on past hardships you've overcome, building confidence. Epictetus would say, your true freedom lies in choosing your attitude, not your circumstances. This mindset doesn't erase pain, but channels it into action. Another case, dealing with a toxic coworker. They gossip, undermine, and stress you out. Stoicism teaches you to let go of their actions. You can't control their behavior, only your reaction. Instead of snapping back or stewing, you focus on your own integrity. You choose calm, professional responses, aligning with the Stoic virtue of justice. Over time, their barbs lose power because you've stopped giving them control over your peace. This isn't weakness, it's strength, rooted in understanding what's yours to own. These examples show how Stoic principles turn abstract ideas into practical tools, helping you navigate setbacks with a clear head and steady hand. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its adaptability. Whether you're facing a personal crisis like a health scare or a daily annoyance, like a delayed flight, its principles apply. They teach you to strip away distractions, focus on your agency, and act with intention. Understanding Stoicism's history and ideas isn't just academic, it's the foundation for mental discipline. It's why a Roman emperor and a former slave both turned to the same philosophy. It works. By internalizing its core tenets, start building a mind that doesn't just endure, but grows stronger with every challenge. Setting the stage for deeper Stoic practices. Mastering your emotions isn't about suppressing them. It's about steering them with clarity and purpose. Stoicism offers a toolkit for this, turning raw feelings into fuel for resilience. The ancient Stoics, from Seneca to Epictetus, saw emotions as responses we can shape through reason, not as forces that control us. By practicing their techniques, you can face stress, failure, or negativity with a steady mind, building mental toughness that carries you through life's storms. Asterisk. One core Stoic technique is rational analysis, stepping back to dissect your emotions with logic. When anger flares, say after a heated argument, a Stoic pauses to ask, why am I upset? Is it the other person's words or my interpretation of them? This isn't about dismissing feelings, but understanding their source. Epictetus taught that it's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. By questioning those judgments, you strip away distorted thinking. Another method is objective observation, or what Marcus Aurelius called seeing things as they are. If you're anxious about a big presentation, describe the situation plainly. I'm speaking to a group. They'll listen. Some may judge. Stripped of exaggeration, the fear loses its grip. These techniques train you to respond, not react, creating space between stimulus and action. Practical exercises make this real. One powerful Stoic practice is the reflective journal. Each evening, write down a moment when emotions ran high, maybe frustration during a work setback. Break it down. What happened? What did I feel? Was my reaction in my control? Seneca used this to examine his day, spotting patterns and adjusting his mindset. Over time, journaling sharpens your ability to catch emotions before they spiral. Another exercise is Stoic meditation, not the cross-legged kind, but a focused mental rehearsal. Spend 10 minutes daily visualizing a tough scenario like missing a deadline. Imagine staying calm, focusing on what you can do next. This premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils, prepares you to handle real challenges with composure. Both practices build a habit of stepping outside your emotions, seeing them as temporary, not defining. Confronting stress, failure, or negative emotions is where Stoicism shines. Stress often comes from feeling overwhelmed, like when deadlines pile up. A Stoic approach is to break it down using the dichotomy of control. You can't control the workload, but you can control your effort. List what's actionable, tackle one task. Ignore the rest for now. This focus cuts through paralysis. Failure, like bombing a job interview, stings because we tie it to self-worth. Stoics reframe it. The outcome wasn't fully in your hands, but your preparation was. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Learn from the miss, then move on. For negativity like sadness after a breakup, Stoics advocate acceptance. Feel the pain, but don't feed it with what-ifs. Epictetus would say, it happened, now choose how to act. These strategies don't erase emotions, they channel them into productive responses. The benefits of emotional control are profound for building resilience. First, it fosters clarity. When you're not clouded by knee-jerk reactions, you make better decisions. Got calm mind during a crisis, like a family argument, lets you listen and respond with wisdom, not heat. Second, it builds confidence. Time you navigate a tough emotion, say, anxiety before a big decision, you prove to yourself you can handle it. This self-trust grows, making future challenges less daunting. Third, it conserves energy. Ruminating on anger or fear drains you. Stoic techniques redirect that energy to action. Finally, it aligns you with virtue, the Stoic gold standard. Staying composed under pressure embodies courage and temperance, making you not just tougher, but better. Take a real example. You're stuck in a traffic jam, late for an important meeting. Your pulse races, frustration boils. Without Stoic tools, you might honk, curse, and arrive frazzled. Instead, apply rational analysis. Being late is out of your control. But your mood isn't. Observe objectively. I'm in a car. Delayed the meeting will happen regardless. Take a deep breath. Maybe practice a mini meditation, picturing yourself walking in calmly. By the time you arrive, you're composed, ready to contribute. This small win reinforces your ability to handle bigger stressors, like financial worries or personal conflicts. Another case, you get harsh feedback at work. The instinct is to feel attacked or doubt yourself. The Stoic pauses, journals about it. What's true in the critique? What can I improve? This shifts the focus from shame to growth. Over weeks, this habit of rational reflection makes criticism less personal, more useful. You start seeing setbacks as data, not disasters. That's resilience in action, less about dodging pain, more about moving through it with purpose. Stoic emotional control isn't about becoming a robot. It's about feeling deeply, but acting wisely. Practices rational analysis, journaling, meditation. Build a mental muscle that gets stronger with use. The result is a mind that doesn't buckle under pressure, but grows from it. It's ready for whatever life throws next. Resilience isn't born overnight. It's forged through daily habits that sharpen your mind like a blade. Stoicism offers practices that, when woven into your routine, build a mental toughness that holds steady against life's unpredictability. These aren't grand gestures, but small, deliberate acts that compound over time, turning challenges into opportunities for growth. By embracing Stoic habits like premeditatio, malorum, and amor, fati, setting manageable goals, and leaning on discipline, you create a foundation. For unshakable strength, daily Stoic practices are the backbone of resilience. Premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, involves mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios to blunt their emotional sting. Each morning, spend a few minutes picturing a tough situation, maybe a project failing or a loved one's. Criticism. Visualize staying calm, focusing on what you can control. This isn't pessimism. It's preparation, like a firefighter drilling for emergencies. Another practice, amor fati, means loving your fate. Whatever happens, good, bad, or indifferent, embrace it as necessary. Spilled coffee? A flat tire? See them as part of the day's texture, not disruptions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept everything which happens, even if it seems disagreeable." This mindset shifts you from resistance to acceptance, freeing up mental energy for action. Other practices like nightly reflection or reading Stoic texts keep your mind anchored in wisdom, reinforcing your ability to face adversity with clarity. Establishing these habits starts with small, achievable goals. Don't overhaul your life at once. Stoics value steady progress over perfection. Begin with 5 minutes of premeditatio malorum. Each morning, set a timer. Sit quietly and imagine one challenge. Pair it with a cue like your morning coffee to make it stick. For amor fati, try a simple mantra. When something goes wrong, say, "This is my path." Write it on a sticky note if it helps. Consistency matters more than intensity. Aim for daily practice, even if it's brief. Epictetus emphasized controlling what's in your power, and your effort is always in your hands. Track your progress. In a journal, noting how often you practice and how it feels. Over weeks, these micro-habits build momentum, rewiring your brain to default to resilience. If you miss a day, don't spiral, Seneca would say, to just pick up where you left off. Discipline and willpower are the fuel for Stoic habits. Discipline isn't about brute force, but about aligning your actions with your values. Stoics see it as a choice to act virtuously, even when it's hard. When you're tempted to skip your morning reflection because you're tired, discipline pushes you to do it anyway, knowing it strengthens your mind. Willpower, meanwhile, is like a muscle, finite but trainable. Early on, you might struggle to focus during premeditatio malorum. That's normal. Start small, and your capacity grows. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire, still carved out time to write his Meditations, a testament to disciplined focus. Stoicism teaches that true freedom comes from self-mastery, not external ease. Every time you choose a Stoic practice over distraction, you're flexing that freedom, building a mind that doesn't bend to whim or circumstance. Consider a real-life story to see these habits in action. Meet Sarah, a single mom juggling a demanding job and 2 kids. A year ago, she felt overwhelmed, snapping at small setbacks like a late bus or a work critique. Then, she stumbled on Stoicism and decided to try its practices. She started with premeditatio malorum, spending 5 minutes each morning imagining a tough dame, maybe a sick child or a missed deadline, and picturing herself staying calm. At first it felt awkward, but she paired it with her tea ritual, making it a habit. She also practiced amor, fati, whispering, "This is my path," when things went wrong, like when her car broke down. Instead of panicking, she focused on solutions, calling a mechanic, rescheduling her day. Sarah kept a journal, reflecting nightly on her reactions, which helped her spot triggers and improve. Discipline kept her consistent, even on exhausting days. Over months, she noticed a shift. Setbacks didn't rattle her as much. When her boss gave harsh feedback, she used rational analysis from her Stoic toolkit, focusing on what she could learn rather than feeling attacked. Her kids even noticed her calmer demeanor, and she felt a quiet pride in her growing strength. Sarah's story shows how Stoic habits transform daily life. Premeditatio malorum prepared her for chaos. Amor fati turned frustration into acceptance. And journaling sharpened her self-awareness. Discipline tied it all together, proving that resilience isn't about big wins, but steady effort. The benefits ripple outward: clearer decisions, less emotional drain, and a sense of control no matter the storm. Stoic habits don't make life easier, they make you tougher, ready to meet any challenge with a steady heart and a clear mind. Life's toughest moments: loss, unemployment, illness, test your core. Stoicism doesn't erase the pain, but it equips you to face these crises with clarity and strength. By applying its principles, you can navigate even the darkest times, not just surviving but growing through them. It's about shifting your perspective, anchoring to what matters, and building resilience that lasts. When crisis hits, Stoicism offers a lifeline. Take loss, like the death of a loved one. Grief is natural, but Stoics urge you to focus on what's in your control, your response. You can't change the loss, but you can honor the person's memory through your actions, living with kindness or pursuing shared values. Unemployment, another gut punch, sparks fear and self-doubt. A Stoic approach zeroes in on effort, updating skills, networking, or exploring new paths. The job market's chaos is beyond you, but your daily grind isn't. Illness, whether yours or a loved one's, feels like a betrayal of control. Stoics accept the body's limits while focusing on mental strength, choosing hope, seeking treatment, or finding meaning in small moments. Epictetus said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." This mindset turns despair into agency, letting you act despite pain. Specific Stoic techniques make this practical. Reframing or redefining a situation is key. Losing a job isn't just a failure. It's a chance to pivot, learn, or chase a dream you shelved. Reframing doesn't deny reality, it finds a constructive angle. When illness strikes, reframe it as a reminder to cherish time or prioritize health. Another technique is focusing on core values, Stoic virtues like wisdom, courage, and justice. In a crisis, ask, how can I act with integrity? If you're unemployed, courage means applying to jobs despite rejection. If grieving, wisdom means seeking support rather than isolating. These values act like a compass, guiding you when emotions cloud the way. Marcus Aurelius used this to rule an empire through plagues and wars, reminding himself to focus on duty over despair. Building long-term mental toughness through challenges requires consistency. Crises expose weaknesses, but they also forge strength. If you lean into Stoic practices, daily reflection, like journaling about how you handled a tough moment, sharpens self-awareness. Premeditatio malorum, visualizing worst-case scenarios, prepares you for future blows so they don't blindside you. Amor fati, loving your fate, turns every trial into a teacher. Over time, these habits rewire your brain to see challenges as tests, not threats. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Each crisis you face with Stoic tools builds a deeper reservoir of resilience, making you less fragile and more adaptable. It's not about one big victory, but a lifetime of small, deliberate choices. Consider a real-life example. Alex, a 35-year-old graphic designer, faced a brutal year. First, he was laid off from his dream job. Then, his father was diagnosed with cancer. The double blow left him angry, lost, and questioning everything. Stoicism, which he dabbled in, became his anchor. When the layoff hit, he used reframing. Instead of seeing it as a personal failure, he viewed it as a push to freelance, something he'd always wanted to try. He focused on what he could control, building a portfolio, pitching clients rather than raging at the economy. Each rejection stung, but he journaled nightly, reflecting on his efforts and reminding himself of Epictetus's words. It's not what happens to you, but how you react. This kept him moving forward, landing his first client within months. His father's illness was harder. The fear of loss was overwhelming, but Alex leaned on Stoic values. Courage meant showing up at hospital visits, even when it hurt. Wisdom meant researching treatments and asking doctors tough questions. He practiced amor fati, accepting the diagnosis as part of life's unpredictability, which let him focus on making memories with his dad, quiet talks, shared laughs. Reframing helped too. He saw the illness not just as tragedy, but as a call to deepen their bond. When anxiety crept in, he used premeditatio malorum, imagining the worst while planning how to stay steady, breathing deeply, focusing on the present. These tools didn't erase the pain, but they gave Alex purpose. When his father passed, he grieved deeply but felt no regrets, knowing he'd acted with love and strength. Alex's story shows Stoicism in action. Reframing turned setbacks into opportunities. Core values guided his choices under pressure. Daily practices like journaling and premeditatio malorum built a resilience that carried him through loss and uncertainty. Months later, his freelance business was thriving. He felt a quiet pride in facing life's hardest moments without breaking. He wasn't superhuman, just disciplined. Using Stoic principles to navigate reality, Stoicism doesn't shield you from life's blows, but it teaches you to stand firm. By reframing crises, anchoring to values, and building habits, you create a mental toughness that grows with every challenge. whether it's loss, joblessness, or illness. These tools help you act with clarity, live with purpose, and emerge stronger. Ready for whatever comes next? Stoicism isn't just an ancient philosophy. It's a practical guide to building a mind that thrives in any storm. We've explored its foundations, from the wisdom of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, who showed us how to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. We dove into mastering emotions, using tools like rational analysis and Stoic meditation to stay calm under pressure. We discussed building resilient habits like premeditatio, malorum, and amor, fati, which turn daily discipline into lasting strength. And we saw how to apply Stoicism to real crisis: loss, unemployment, illness, framing challenges, and anchoring to core values to emerge stronger. These steps form a system, not a quick fix, for forging mental toughness that carries you through life's highs and lows. The value of Stoicism lies in its power to transform how you face the world. It doesn't promise an easy life, but it delivers something better: the ability to meet any challenge with clarity, courage, and purpose. In a world of constant noise and uncertainty, Stoicism is your anchor, helping you cut through chaos and act with intention. It's not about being emotionless. It's about feeling deeply while staying in control. Every time you choose to reframe a setback, reflect on your actions, or embrace what life throws at you, you're building a resilience that nothing can shake. That's the Stoic edge, and it's within your reach. Start today. Pick one practice, maybe 5 minutes of premeditatio, malorum, or a nightly journal entry, and commit to it. Small steps lead to big changes. You don't need to be perfect, just consistent. Ask yourself, what's one challenge I can face with Stoic wisdom right now? Take that first step, and you'll feel the shift of quiet strength growing inside. Stoicism isn't about escaping life's battles. It's about stepping into them with a clear head and a steady heart. Knowing you're ready for anything? Due to time constraints, we'll wrap up here. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it offers even a small spark of insight, I'm deeply fulfilled. Save it to your playlist to revisit anytime. Please like and share it with others sometimes. The right message at the right moment can change a life. And don't forget to subscribe to Daily Stoic Habits and hit the bell to catch our next value-packed video. Goodbye for now, and see you soon. What could your life look like if you embraced Stoicism's wisdom? The path to a stronger, more centered you starts. Now take it.